Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Saturday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were in action on yesterday downtown Los Angeles, taking on none other than the Memphis Grizzlies. And I said this would be a good measure for the Lakers. And I had already said on the previous show that this would be a good game and that the Lakers had matched up well with the Grizzlies. And before I get into any of the breakdown of the game and talk about, just imagine if Anthony Davis was playing in the game, but we'll get to that later. But what I want to focus in right now before I jump into the X's and O's and everything we saw that unfolded on yesterday during the course of the game is none other than what happened at halftime was Dillon Brooks and Shannon Sharpe, old Unc Shay Sharpe, getting into it with Dillon Brooks and none other than Stephen Adams, and then John Morant Pops Usher. I can't remember his name, but man, I'm just gonna call him Usher because that's who he looked like to me. But at the end of the day, Shay Sharpe, some might say got a little bit out of character, or whatever. At the end of the day, it is what it is, and I see a lot of people talking about, oh, he should have been escorted out of the game, if it was a regular fan. Exactly what you just said, if it was a regular fan. But, let's just be totally honest. We all know there's celebrities and people that have status in the community as far as being a celebrity. They get preferential treatment. That's just the nature of the beast. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that's just how it is. And people who don't realize that, you know what? You might just need to add a few wrinkles to your brain. But, what I want you to see is everybody saying, anybody can, whoop Shannon Sharpe and Stephen Adams and who was going to fight what. But just look at Shannon Sharpe. This man, 50 years old. Do you see this? Shannon Sharpe said he was ready and he was telling them that they didn't want that. But at the end of the day, Stephen Adams, I don't know if a lot of you know that, but he fights MMA fights. And I'm not saying professionally, but even his brothers and sisters, he come from a large family, like 7 or 8 brothers and his sisters, and all of them fight, some of them professionally, some of them amateurly. So I'm telling you, as big and strong as he is, and he got those hands professionally, I don't know if I would put my money against him if it really came to that, but it might would have been a good one because Unc is not going to bow down. That's one thing for sure about it. But anyway, we're not focusing too much on the Hollywood element of the game, even though, it's LA, it's Hollywood. It is what it is. We really want to focus on what took place on the basketball court and what we saw in the Lakers. What previous 4 or 5 games they had lost by a combined total of 10 points. The Lakers have been in a lot of close battles going against a lot of teams that was, good teams, on the upper echelon teams like the Philadelphia 76ers. So, at the end of the day, the Lakers weren't able to pull out some of those victories, against Dallas. And you saw how these games, and if you just really look at it, had they won the game against Dallas where they had a no call at the end, had they won the game against the Kings where they had a no call at the end where Kendrick Nunn could have went to the line and tied it up, have they not blown the other game against Philly, if you just take those 3 games alone, and what do you have? What would the Lakers record be? It would be 26-22, or would it be 25-22, which would put them 6th in the Western Conference standings, safe from the play-in tournament. So it's just, they only 2.5 games out of being in 6. So everybody, like I said, just calm down. If they competing against teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, who are whole and were at their best and were on an 11-game win streak, then imagine had Anthony Davis been in this game, because the Lakers had absolutely no rim protection. They depended on Thomas Bryant, who I keep saying is too slow in pick-and-roll defense, and I knew that Stephen Adams would feast, but give it to Thomas Bryant, I will say. And I said in those particular matchups, I said I like Gabriel better when it's a younger, quicker center that kind of could stretch the floor more, even though Thomas Bryant can stretch the floor himself, although he did not make any threes last night, even though I think he attempted 4. That just wasn't his night from the three-point line. But at the end of the day, with Gabriel out there, he was a minus last night. So Thomas Bryant matched up a little better with Stephen Adams just because of the size, and Stephen Adams isn't necessarily quicker, But when I'm telling you, he got the strength, and that's what he did. And of course, Brandon Clark came in and gave him good minutes and provided a boost. And I mean, the Grizzlies, I think, had 38 second chance points, which I hear, and I'm not sure it was a franchise record for them, but they were looking to find and get a new franchise record, and that was to push that 11-game win streak to a 12-game win streak. And it was just simply not the case on yesterday because the Lakers kept fighting back no matter what. I don't think either team ever got a double-digit lead, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look, but, the lead would go up to 8, 9. They might have got 10, I'm not sure, but the Lakers come back down, cut it to 4 or 5, then the Grizzlies just take it back up 8 or 9, But one thing I do want to focus in on, and this is what I want to talk about, and that's what I should have, kind of segued into as far as the fight that took place, well, not fight, the argument, let's just say, that took place between Shannon Sharpe, because he said, Dillon Brooks, you too small. You cannot guard LeBron. Well, I've been telling people for a long time, and people didn't get it. And I used to make the joke because everybody know I love me some Memphis Grizzlies at the same time. But, I grew up with my Grizzlies. I'm straight out of Tennessee, and y'all know that about me. If you're a regular to this channel, you know that about me. But, I live for the grit and grind for Zebo and Marc Gasol and Mike Conley and Tony Allen. But Tony Allen is a fan favorite in the grindhouse because of what he provided on the defensive end. And that's what Dillon Brooks provides on the defensive end of the floor as well. And I will personally say, in my opinion, he did a phenomenal job against LeBron James. He was forcing him out of his element all night. Now, they did guard LeBron James with the whole team. So they came at LeBron with not just double teams, but triple teams. So as soon as LeBron got it in his hands, he was capable of going left or right on Dillon Brooks, even though he was trying to force him left. He kept getting to the basket, but anytime he could get around Dillon Brooks, there was the double team, and the Grizzlies just took it upon themselves to say, guess what? If LeBron will not be the one who beat us, we will make others beat us. And that's exactly what they did. And you got to give props to none other than Russell Westbrook, who stepped up and was actually the Lakers and I think the game leading scorer. Westbrook had 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was a +3 on the floor, which is great for the Lakers. And he's been shooting way better than LeBron James from 3, because LeBron James actually has not been shooting that well from 3. As we all know, he's in down near the bottom of the league, if not the very bottom. And last night, LeBron didn't do too well from the 3-point line. He was 1 of 5 from 3 again. That's only 20%, but he did step up from the free throw line, which proved to be crucial for not only the Lakers, but even for the Grizzlies. And we'll talk about how Brandon Clark missed that free throw in a moment. But 6 out of 7 from the free throw line, which is 86% for LeBron James on last night. With Russell Westbrook, on the other hand, was 7 out of 11 from the free throw line. He missed some that I thought was going to eventually cost the Lakers the victory, but it did not. The Lakers were still able to come up with the victory, as we all know, because of Dennis Schroeder's heroics that he played. And Dennis Schroeder, I've been harping on him the past few games because he hasn't been giving the Lakers much, and he didn't shoot terribly good last night. He was only 4 out of 11, 36%, but he was a +9 on the floor. And why was he a +9 on the floor? He was a +9 on the floor because of the great defense that he held against Ja Morant. He pressured Ja Morant all night. He would not let him breathe coming up the court. He was playing him, for the full court the whole entire night, making the Grizzlies get in their sets late. So that had a whole lot to do with it. Especially Ja Morant only had 6 points going into the second half. So he really was doing his job defensively. And of course, the Lakers were doing their job on the pick and roll as far as, not blitzing the pick and roll, but doing drop back coverage. Bryant did a decent job of containing Ja Morant, but it was one play in particular that I remember where Ja Morant went right into the body of Thomas Bryant and got the and one. And that's when I was thinking, imagine if AD was in there giving you that extra size, length, then what would be the case for the Memphis Grizzlies? Because what would be the case for any Western Conference team? So what I'm telling you all, and Austin Reeves the Lakers are still without Austin Reeves and Lonnie Skywalker, who wasn't playing particularly well before he left and was kind of streaky. But at that same token, it could have had a lot to do with the injury that he was, trying to push through injury while he was playing, until they says, you know what, let's shut it down and let you get healthy. And you got to give props to Kendrick Nunn, who has been playing pretty well as of late. He had one bonehead play where he fouled when they were in the bonus late in the game, giving them free throws. And let's say this for the Memphis Grizzlies, they was missing free throws a lot for the game, but in crunch time, they made them for the most part, except for Brandon Clark at the end. Now, you got to give props to Troy Brown too. Troy Brown continued to shoot. He was 3 out of 10 from the three-point line at only 30%, but he kept shooting and he made a couple threes in the fourth quarter that was crucial. LeBron James, I think, had 10 in the fourth himself. He led all scorers in the fourth quarter, and I think 6 of those were free throws. So he was trying to be aggressive the best he could and get to the basket. But I'm telling you what, Memphis defense is no joke, because if you get past one, I don't know if it was Player Fly, Gangsta Black, it was a old school Memphis rapper. They said, hey, it was a straight up Memphis thing. They said, if you make it past one of us, you got to deal with another. And I ain't gonna say the song, but it was damn what a say. Something like that. But you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get into all that, but that's just how the Grizzlies acted last night. They said, if you make it past one of us, you're gonna have to deal with another. And that's what LeBron James constantly had to deal with on yesterday. If he made it past Dillon Brooks, it was Jerry Jackson Jr. waiting on him. It was Stephen Adams waiting on him. It was defense by committee. The Memphis Grizzlies were dedicated on yesterday to say somebody else is going to have to beat us other than LeBron James. And lo and behold, hell, that's what happened. It was Dennis Schroeder who came up clutch. And you have to give props to Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham let the referees know, hey, look, we're not trying to foul, we're trying to trap. You know, don't get too overzealous with the whistle. And they came in, and you know what? They made Desmond Bane stop. They make him stop short, pick up his dribble. Once he picked up his dribble, he was looking for help. And Schroeder left his man, and if he had eyes like LeBron James, he would have saw that and got it to him. But everybody doesn't have the court vision of a LeBron James, you understand me? And Dennis Schroeder came from behind and stripped him, and then had the wherewithal to continue to push to the basket and not only just get the points, but get the and one, which was crucial, because had he only got the layup, they would have only been up by 1. But by getting the and one and completing the three-point play, they were up by 2. Which led to the foul, which, I would say Gabriel did foul him. I mean, Brandon Clark sold it a little bit. I don't think he necessarily had to fall down in the nature in which he did. But once he fell, the whistle blew, and he went to the line. He made the first one, and the second one he didn't. But take a look at this here. Take a look at this here. Who was this on the last defensive play of the game? Fortunately, he didn't get a shot up because technically he was out of bounds. None other than LeBron James making the play, closing out on defense, making it difficult, because we all know Desmond Bane is capable of hitting that shot. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He's one of the best 3-and-D guys. He's one of the people that make the Grizzlies tick. Him and Dillon Brooks, man, I'll tell y'all what, the Grizzlies is something that is a force to be reckoned with. The way the West is looking right now, the Lakers got the Portland Trail Blazers on Sunday night. When they beat the Trailblazers, and I said it, when they beat the Trailblazers on Sunday night and take their place for 11th, they're gonna pass the Phoenix Suns after that, the Jazz and the Minnesota Timberwolves after that, and I'm telling you, they coming running, gunning. The Lakers pull off another 5 or 6 game win streak like they did before, then y'all gonna see what's up, because all they got to do is take care of the business that's in front of them. And if they playing like this, imagine they said AD coming back next week, because the Lakers going on the East Coast road swing of a 5 long game road trip, and that's none other time than to build some good camaraderie right before you go into the All-Star break. Do you hear me? And I think when that happens, the Lakers are going to be bound for success. And if you don't get with the Lakers, you're going to be busy on the drizzle, like Snoop used to say. You know what I mean? So, and then another thing I want to point out is everybody on LeBron head all the time. LeBron couldn't do this and couldn't do that. If you take a good look at the team that's been surrounded by LeBron, LeBron had to deal with, just look alone last year. How many players is on the roster? Let's say you got a 12-man rotation. 8 players from the Lakers last year don't even have a job in the NBA now. Don't even have a job. Take a look at these. Who is this? Rondo. Who he play for? Melo. Who he play for? Dwight Howard. He play somewhere. He over there in Taiwan or somewhere, ain't he? Ariza. Who he play for? DJ Augustine. Who he play for? Avery Bradley. Who does he play for? Kent Bazemore. Couldn't make a 3 to save his life last year. How many open shots LeBron would get him? Time after time. Broke as hell. Missing every time. Wayne Ellington used to play for the Grizzlies. Used to light it up. I seen him hit 7 threes in a game for 2 different teams. For the Lakers, broke as a joke. You understand me? So people want, oh, LeBron, he couldn't do this and couldn't do that. And y'all want to, oh, this team, he had Hall of Famers. He had Carmelo. Man, y'all act like he had Carmelo when Carmelo was hooping with Denver, fam. Come on now. That's the last time Carmelo was really doing something in Denver. What did Carmelo Anthony, I ain't even going to call him Carmelo Anthony. What did Carmelo Anthony do when he was in New York City? I don't ever remember them advancing in one series in the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going off memory. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm saying. But as we continue throughout the journey of this season, which I have enjoyed because I love a struggle, baby. If you don't struggle, then you ain't going to appreciate it when you get to the finish line. And if you don't struggle, what you going to do when you meet up against adversity once you get to the playoffs? But don't tell me that the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Portland Trail Blazers, or none of these teams, even Golden State is struggling. They lucky Donovan Mitchell was not available because they would have lost that game and would have sunk even lower. Clippers barely could beat the Spurs yesterday with Kawhi and Paul George. So you tell me something. You tell me something. But hey, as y'all all know, we're going to keep on keeping on. And as always, I want to give a shout out to the haters who hate on the Lakers, who hate on LeBron James. We love y'all. Merch coming soon. Right on to the real. Much love to the haters. Man. And we down with the Lakers. So we'll holler at y'all. We'll come back for the show tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get a pregame in. If not, it'll be a postgame. We got to keep it coming, gunning, running. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share, and on to the next video, baby. Right on to the real. Much love to the haters. I'm out.